I used to think life would be perfect if my skin were white like the rice I ate growing up, if my eyes were just a little bigger, if I were told, you're pretty instead of, you're pretty for an Asian. I used to think life would be perfect if I looked pure and white like the rice served at Chinese restaurants. If I had two parents instead of a single mother, maybe if I were smart like my sister who's going to law school. Instead, here I am, a non stereotypical Asian who studies English and communication. If I were white like the other kids in my neighborhood, so I wouldn't have to feel not quite Chinese enough, but too Chinese to be a fully white American. I used to think life would be perfect if I looked like the white rice in sushi because it blends together better to make a beautiful roll. Or is it because it looks prettier than brown? I used to think life would be perfect if I lived in a big 4-person house with 2 parents, an older brother, and a golden retriever named Max. If I didn't see double eyelid tape in the beauty section of Asian stores. If I had that ideal hourglass figure many women strive to achieve. I used to think life would be perfect if I were white. But now, the older I get, the more I notice that it's pretty cool to be who I am. I like being exotic. Sometimes I even think to myself, it's like you're adding a little flavor into the population. After all, food with no flavor is bland. I used to think going to Chinese dance class was embarrassing because it was exotic. But now I get to say I used to be famous for performing in downtown Chicago every summer. And to think, I used to be embarrassed to be exotic. I used to think life would be perfect if my skin were pale and white like the rice I ate growing up. But I recently learned that white rice is really just bleached brown rice that's lost its main source of nutrients.